Good evening, everyone, or, or probably good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I really would like to welcome you along to this very, very special webinar. We literally have lots of people. In fact, I'll just give everyone just a minute because there's a lot of people joining the room, which demonstrates the absolute excitement that this business opportunity is generating. Okay, right, we're going to start now. The room is almost full. So launching the 14th of July, at long last, we've got a date, we've got a countdown clock, and Lucky5 will be launching. So we're less than 2 weeks away now, guys. And, you know, there are a few new people in the room, but obviously many of you know what all this is about. And it's great to see you all in the room again. And what it is basically a brand new €5 global online scratch card, which is going to launch on the 14th of July. It's going to be called Lucky5. That is not the official logo. It's just something that I put up there just so that you to make the slide a little bit more attractive. But it's going to be obviously one of the most exciting opportunities ever to launch in the UK, Europe, Asia, Africa, and around the world. Now, just before I start, the contents in these slides may be subject to change once the Lucky5 opportunity launches. We don't expect too many changes at all, but I've got to just put that in just to make it absolutely clear. Okay, as we all know, the scratch card market is huge and it is growing at a phenomenal rate. And Lucky5.com, if you click on that, there's not a lot there apart from a countdown clock, and it will be counting down. At the moment it's about 12 days and a few hours and what have you, a few minutes to go. In fact, we're hearing that Lucky5.com is actually already getting massive traffic. Really is getting a lot of traffic. I mean, we're talking about thousands and thousands of people are clicking on it around the world. And there's nothing there. Just wait and see when it launches how much traffic it's going to generate. So, you know, already it's causing a huge ripple around the world. So what you need to do, I'm just basically going to cover a few basics tonight of what you need to do over the next few weeks until we launch, a little bit about the plan, and just some little bit of tips and advice, basically. So just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the next half hour. So obviously we know what Lucky5 is all about, many of us, but just make sure that you're ready to join on day one. I mean, you know, day one is the day. How many times do we have an opportunity to join something on day one? And make sure you have your 5 frontline level 1 people lined up, fired up, and ready to join. What is essential is that you have their correct email address, because you will need to send them your link. This is absolutely essential. What I don't want you doing, I don't want people doing, is sending your link out and it's going to old email addresses or email addresses that haven't been used for 3 years or whatever. Check with your people who are ready to join, because you're going to have to communicate with them fairly quickly to get them into the system and in your team. And obviously, you know, there are a lot of people out there who've not only got 5, they've got 10, 15, 20 people lined up, but try to make sure your own 5 people have their 5 people. I mean, what a great start you would have on day one. You would definitely be up and running. So you've got your 5, and keep in touch with your 5 as I keep in touch with my 5, and just make sure that they have got their people lined up. And that's only the start. You know, networking is a very simple process. It's about a lot of people doing a little bit. And if you can just introduce a handful of people who introduce a handful of people who introduce a handful of people, this thing will go like clockwork. So work with your team, plug them into the webinars and trainings, help them to duplicate, and keep in touch with your upline. Now, after we launch, I'm going to be doing a few trainings. You know, we don't abandon people. We're going to do trainings, keep in touch, see how people are going on, give any other tips and advice. But obviously, we've not seen the website, so we're going to do that after we launch. But obviously, prizes. The great thing, there's going to be thousands of prizes ranging from €5 to €500,000, and the overall odds of winning a prize will be an amazing 1 in 3.4. In other words, every 3.4 scratch cards, one is going to be a winner on average, and that's actually better odds of winning than a comparable £5 National Lottery scratch card. And that means that thousands of people around the world are going to be winning every day. And depending on your country's tax laws, for example, in the UK, this could be tax-free money. Our virtual online scratch cards are going to be instant purchase, instant scratch, instant win, and instant payout. Now, I don't know any other opportunities where people can buy a product literally within hours of this launching and be winning money. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be people winning money on day one. Literally within hours of it launching, people will be winning money, and that's the excitement that this has generated. It's never been done before on such a global scale. We're absolutely unique, and there's no competition at this moment in time, and yet millions and millions and millions of people around the world love to buy scratch cards. So how are you going to join? Well, to get involved, it's going to cost you €30. So on day one, you will receive a link from whoever is going to introduce you, and it's going to cost you €30 and then €30 a month. Now in the UK, that's about £23, £24 a month, so it's a very, very low maintenance. And for that, you're going to receive five €5 scratch cards when you join, and five €5 scratch cards every single month. You're going to receive a link from your introducer. Now, the plan is it's going to launch around 12 noon British summertime on the 14th. That doesn't mean to say you are going to get your link at 12:05, because obviously, you know, whoever's frontline to the company will get the link, pass it into their 5, they'll pass it onto their 5, they'll pass it onto their 5. But sometime on that afternoon, or very early evening, but I would like to think it's that afternoon, you're going to get a link. You click on the link, enter your details, and then you will become a member. You will then be presented with payment options, and as I say, the cost of buying your scratch cards will be €30 and then €30 a month. Once you've done that, you have the opportunity to share it with others. You'll then receive your link, and you can send your link out to your prospects, and your people can join you. And that is the whole essence of this, sharing the opportunity with others. As you share the opportunity with other people, they in turn will become members, and you will start to benefit from any purchases, sales that they make. You obviously benefit from your own personal purchases, because you're already buying 5 scratch cards a month, but obviously as you start to build a team, you start to get rewards from what they spend. Now, you are not going to be paid commission. Again, this is quite unique. However, you're going to be rewarded by receiving credits, which can be redeemed to purchase €5 scratch cards. Again, very, very exciting, very unique. And the more credits you receive, the more scratch cards you can buy, and you have the potential to earn big income earnings. And I will start to explain this very quickly. So you've made your €30 purchase, you're sharing the opportunity, and the plan, the structure, your structure, the same as anyone else's structure, is called it's a matrix plan, and it's a 5x6 forced matrix, which means that you can have 5 people on your level 1. You can't have more than 5 people. If you've got 10 or 20 people lined up, then that's brilliant. Only 5 can go on your level 1, so my advice is to get your best 5 ready on level 1. 5 people who ideally have already got 5 people lined up. Level 2, 25, because if they each introduce 5, that gives you 25, and if they each introduce 5, that gives you 125, 625, 3125, and if you fill your matrix, that bottom level, you'll have an amazing 15,625 people on that bottom level. This doesn't mean to say you have to fill all that yourself. As I say, this is simple networking. It's a handful of people introducing a handful of people, introducing a handful of people. But if you can introduce more, fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So it's a very simple plan. 1 card credit is worth €1. I want you to bear that in mind. 1 card credit is worth €1 for you to spend, which means that for every 5 card credits you receive, you will be able to buy an online scratch card valued at €5. That's pretty straightforward, but as you see the plan unfold, you'll understand why I explained that. So this is how a perfect 5x6 structure will look. Okay, You may not achieve this. You may build half a matrix, 3/4 of a matrix. You may have one leg that flies away, two legs, whatever. But if you just build a 5 who help 5, who help 5, who help 5, this is how it will work. And this is the potential for you and how much you can earn. So 5 people on your level 1, and you will get 5 credits from each time they spend 30 euros, which will give you 25 card credits a month, which will give you 5 cards to scratch. So if you've got 5 people lined up on day 1, you'll have your own 5 cards from your own purchase, and you'll have an additional 5 cards to scratch, which would give you 10 cards on day 1. Now, if they've already got their 5 lined up, so you'd have 25 on the level 2. Now, from level 2 to level 6, you earn 4 credits on every time anyone in your team, no matter where they are on those levels. And you may not know a lot of those people. As I say, that's the great thing about networking. But you're going to earn 4 credits every time they spend 30 euros. So your level 2 is going to give you 20 cards every month to scratch. And as they all introduce 5, or there's some spillover in the team, 125 people on level 3 would give you 100 cards to scratch. And then as they introduce 5 each, as I say, just a handful of people, 500 cards to scratch on level 4. Now it gets very exciting, obviously, because level 5, as that is filled, and yeah, it's 2,500 cards to scratch. And then level 6 would give you an amazing 12,500 cards to scratch. Now, somebody asked me, you don't have to fill each level to earn to receive cards. No, not at all. It's just every time you get 5 credits anywhere in your team, that will enable you to buy another card. These are examples as each level fills up. So 15,635 euro scratch cards for you to scratch every single month if you fill your matrix. So you can see the potential, and this is a global business. So I say to everyone, set yourself a goal now. You know, some of us have been waiting for this for weeks and weeks. There's a lot of people who are new in the room who've literally just heard about it, and some people have heard about it for the last 2 or 3 weeks. But the most important thing now for everyone is to get your 5 front line ready to join, ready on day 1. You're ready, they should be ready as well. And you know, tell them all that on that afternoon, sometime in the afternoon, you're going to be sending them a link and you want them to join, and then they are in the system. So get your 5 front line and work with them, and ideally help them to have their 5 also ready on day 1. So what would that mean for you if you got 5 who got 5 on day 1? And that is very, very achievable. I know a lot of people who will do that on day 1, and that will be a great goal. So you're going to receive 5 scratch cards from your own 30 euro personal purchase. So you're going to get 5. And then you're going to receive 5 from the 5 people on level 1. You receive 25 card credits from your level 1 people, which will give you 5 additional 5 euro scratch cards. And then if you fill your level 2, you receive 100 card credits from your level 2, which will give you 25 euro scratch cards. So if you fill 2 levels, if you introduce 5 people on day 1, and they each introduce 5 people on day 1, that would actually give you on day 1 35 euro scratch cards by simply building 2 levels. Now I think that's a pretty good goal to go for, and you'll end up having 35 euro scratch cards, which will certainly get you some winning cards. There's no question about that. So let's just go take it down another notch. I don't expect you to do this on day 1, but if you do it, fantastic. But then, as I say, this is a case of just duplicating. And this is a global opportunity. This is not just in one country, and I don't know which country you're in at the moment, but say, for instance, if you're in the UK, it's not just a case of building it in the UK. This will naturally expand into other countries. I mean, even now, I know there are people who are already in several different countries, which is exciting. So if you build 3 levels, which is 5 who introduce 5 who introduce 5, would actually give you 130 scratch cards per month by simply building 3 levels. 5 who introduce 5 who introduce 5. 4 levels, 5 who introduce 5 who introduce 5 who introduce 5 would give you 630 scratch cards every month by building just 4 levels. And then obviously 5 levels, the power of duplication really kicks in, because you would have over 3,000 scratch cards a month by building 5 levels. And then, as I say, building 6 levels would give you an amazing 15,630 €5 scratch cards every month by building just 6 levels. So that's the power of the plan. 15,630 €5 scratch cards for you to scratch every month. Now, we're hearing that the average scratch card win, and this is going to be based across the board, is going to be around €8. Now, as I said, there are prizes of €5, probably 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000. The top prize is €500,000, but the average across the board will be €8. That would give you an amazing 36,760 every month in winnings. Because, as I say, 1 in 3.4 is a winning card, and that is the power of this plan. And that, to me, is frightening. It's phenomenal, and that's why it's so exciting. So if you can fill your matrix, you should win approximately 36,000 a month. It could be more. You could have that jackpot ticket. You could have a nice 50,000 winning ticket, but that is based on the average win of €8, and that is amazing, as you can imagine. Okay, so 36,760 is fantastic. What if you only fill half of it? Or what if you only fill a quarter of it? Do you realise that would still give you an amazing €9,000 every month? Which, I don't know what part of the world you're in, but that is a fantastic monthly salary. In fact, 9,000 a month is more than 100,000 a year. So if you fill just quarter of your matrix, that's 100 grand a year. Do you realise that would put you in the top 10% of income earners in Europe by building a quarter of the matrix, and all you're doing is spending €30 a month yourself on buying 5 scratch cards and getting other people to see it and do it. And there are millions of people out there who've never even heard of this, and that's why we're in a great position. We're in day one, ground floor opportunity to offer you the opportunity to make that kind of income is amazing. And again, every day millions of people around the world buy scratch cards and win money. Very, very popular. In fact, I was reading the other week that Camelot Profits in the UK, Camelot they operate the scratch card instance in the UK, and their profits have increased despite falls in lottery sales. And the reason for that is because scratch cards are on the increase. You know, lots and lots of people are buying scratch cards because they know they have a better chance of winning. And scratch cards are just so popular. And here again in the UK, more than 2 million scratch cards are bought every single day. Every day 2 million cards are bought. That's just in the UK. There are countries like France and Belgium where scratch cards are more popular than playing the lottery. And you just look at the world as a whole, how many countries you can hit with this. It's amazing. You know, you look at countries like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all the European countries, South Africa, the UK, Ireland. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. So do you think there will be a huge global demand for our scratch cards? What do you think? Of course there will. Of course there will. 1 in 3.4 is a winning card. Of course there's going to be a demand. But at the moment, as I said, just until we launch, just spread the word. And I just ask you to do one thing. Just please remove anything you've put on YouTube. I've noticed that a few of these webinars have appeared on YouTube, despite the fact that I've asked specifically that nobody puts anything on YouTube. I've not put them on, but people have copied them and put them on, and I've asked them to take them off. So nothing on YouTube, guys. Let's just wait until the company announces its terms and conditions. Let's see what we've got in a couple of weeks' time, and then we can really start to crank it up. But please don't put anything on YouTube in the next week or two, at least, until we know where we're going with this and what the company is saying. So, how many times have you been offered the chance to get involved in a global opportunity? Several weeks. Well, it's 2 weeks now, guys, before it launches. The old saying is the early bird catches the worm. I'm not going to have another webinar now, unless there's any group out there who feels that they would love me to speak to their group and have a special webinar just for their team, because I know there are people all over the world now. There's pockets of groups growing here, there and everywhere. But I think these basic instructions are all we need at this moment. get your 5 people lined up, just spread the word. All I've done is just picked up the phone, met up with people for a coffee, and just say, look, hi John, or hi Jill, whatever, I've got my hands on something very special and I'd like you to look at it. And just talk them through it. Are you in? You know, we all know that scratch cards are very popular, very popular. People love to win money. Would you like to get involved on day one in a global scratch card where you can make yourself a lot of money? Are you interested? And then, you know, just take them through it. Just show them a little bit what it's all about and get them ready to join on day one. And you'll absolutely fly. So the next webinar is going to be Tuesday the 21st of July at 8 o'clock. It's going to be post-launch webinar. We will have launched by then. We will have been in business by a week. And it will be great to get some testimonials on there as well. I'll be working on that to see all the movers and shakers and who's won what. And it would be nice to have 1 or 2 people on there, that call who've actually won quite a bit of money. That'll be very exciting. So the rollout, open for business. Keep in touch with your introducer. Somebody somewhere has contacted you. Please keep in touch with them. Get your 5 people lined up and ready to go on day one. Very, very important, because I want you all to succeed. I want everyone to be winning money in this business. And there's no reason, with a little bit of work, a little bit of effort, a few phone calls, get out of your comfort zone. You know, sometimes just speak to people and just offer them the opportunity. That's all you're doing. And we're launching on the 14th of July. Okay, my time is up now. I'd like to wish everyone the best of luck. Keep calm, be happy, keep spreading the word, but most of all, enjoy your journey. This is going to be a very exciting journey for all of us. Enjoy your journey, guys, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Take care, and I'll speak to you very soon, and good luck.